All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We will go ahead and call our March 17th meeting of the Baldwin County Board of Education to order. Mr. Myrick, can I get you to open us in a word of prayer, please?
Sure. Father, we come to you today so thankful for the blessings you poured out on this county. Thank you for our students, personnel. We just thank you, Lord, that you'll continue to bless us in a very special way. I just pray that you'll be with people around the world, Lord, that their problems can be solved and that they'll see a better way. And give us where we fail you.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank everyone for being here tonight. Chastity, do we have any letters of commendation? All right, thank you. All right, board, we have minutes from our February 17th regular board meeting and our March 3rd special board meeting. May I please have a motion to approve those minutes?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Johnson and a second by Mr. Myrick. Are there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. All right, we do have a speaker signed up to speak to us tonight, Ms. Pickering, if you'd like to come up to the microphone. And your time will be on the TVs. You've done this before, so you're familiar with the process. And time will start whenever you start speaking.
Understand why you would do that. With people in my life. And all of you just stood up here and laughed. I brought this up. These kids are getting molested. They're getting sexually harassed. And y'all won't do anything. So now I've got the problem with the window. It is right in front of where these little girls have to dress. These girls are 11, 12, and 13 years old. They're at one of the most vulnerable points in their life, uncomfortable with their bodies, and y'all put them on display for people to see. Anybody that comes to talk to the coach sees my girls dressing. Anybody that walks in the gym when the door's open can see our girls dressing. You have the decency, when I filed my Title IX complaint, to cover the window, and then when Eddie denied my complaint, my appeal, guess what they did? They took the covering down. Why do you want people to see our kids changing? Do you not think at that point that these little girls are humiliated? Is it fine? If you say it's fine and you're here to protect our kids, and I told you, if y'all didn't protect them, people were going to start standing up and noticing. Y'all, and I'm talking to y'all too because y'all did think it was funny. Everybody heard y'all laughing. I'm glad y'all think it's funny. God forbid if y'all have kids. It was just sick. But you wouldn't even keep the window covered. So that tells me that either you're a pervert or either you don't have a problem with it. I don't want to have to sue the board. I do not want to do that. So I am going to make a deal right here, right now, and you won't hear me say another word about it on social media. And I'm not going to ask you to do anything bad. I'm going to ask you to do what you make our kids do. I want y'all to stand up and strip down. Just do your underwear. If there's nothing wrong with it, you put our kids on display. So either you're perverted and you know it's wrong and you refuse to do anything, or you really do think there's nothing wrong with it and you don't have a problem standing up here and getting in your underwear. We can avoid a lawsuit here.
Thank you, Ms. Pickering. Your time is up. Superintendent?
Yes, ma'am. Amendments to the agenda. Amend number 3, purchase of Lenovo Chromebooks. Number 6, leave of absence of personnel. Number 7, retirement and resignations of personnel. Number 8, employment of personnel. Number 11, extra work for extended periods. Add number 12, redistricting for Stonebridge Elementary School. Delete number 13, executive session.
Can I get a motion to approve the amendments?
Second.
That's okay. I see. I have a motion by Ms. Lindsay and a second by Mrs. Dawson. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Agenda item 1, bids, proposals. The superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the low bidders meeting specification for bids and bid extensions for goods and services for the system as provided and stipulated in the agenda exhibit.
So move.
I have a motion by Mr. Christenberry and a second by Mr. Johnson. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Agenda item 2, public works. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the low bidders meeting specifications for public works projects as stipulated in the agenda exhibit.
So moved.
I have a motion by Mrs. Dawson and a second by Mr. Johnson. Is there any discussion? All right. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Agenda item 3, purchase of Lenovo Chromebooks. The superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the purchase of Lenovo Chromebooks to replace the end-of-life Lenovo N21 and N22s for the academic school year 2022-2023 in accordance with Alabama Purchasing Program for a total cost of $7,648,888, which includes 16,000 Lenovo 300E Chromebooks, 3-year on-site warranty, 3-year accidental damage protection plan, ADP insurance, installation fees, and Google license as amended and stipulated in the agenda exhibit.
So move.
I have a motion by Mr. Christenberry and a second by Mr. Myrick. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Is there any opposed? Motion passes.
Agenda item 4, Career Technical Education Textbooks Adoption Committee additional members. The superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the Career Technical Education Textbook Adoption Committee members as stipulated in the agenda exhibit.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Johnson and a second by Mrs. Lindsay. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Agenda item 5, approval of textbook for English Language Arts grades K-12. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the list of textbooks as stipulated in the agenda exhibit.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Mrs. Dawson and a second by Mr. Christenberry. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The motion passes.
Agenda item 6, leave of absence of personnel. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the leave of absence of personnel as amended and provided to board members under separate cover.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Mrs. Lindsay and a second by Mr. Johnson. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Agenda item 7, retirement and resignations of personnel. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the retirement and resignations of personnel as amended and provided to board members under separate cover.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion by Mrs. Lindsay and a second by Mrs. Dawson. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Agenda item 8, transfer intent to transfer personnel. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the transfer intent to transfer personnel as provided to board members under separate cover.
So move.
I have a motion by Mr. Christenberry and a second by Mr. Johnson. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes.
Agenda item 9, rescission of employment of personnel. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve to rescind the employment of personnel as provided to board members under separate cover.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion by Mrs. Lindsay and a second by Mrs. Dawson. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Agenda item 10, employment of personnel. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the employment of personnel as amended and provided to board members under separate cover.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Johnson and a second by Mr. Christenberry. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Agenda item 11, extra work for extended periods. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the extra work of personnel as amended and provided to board members under separate cover.
So moved. Second.
A motion by Mrs. Dawson and a second by Mrs. Lindsay. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Agenda item 12, redistricting for Stonebridge Elementary School. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the redistricting proposal of students from Rockwell Elementary to Stonebridge Elementary beginning with the 2022-2023 school year as stipulated in the agenda exhibit.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Christenberry and a second by Mrs. Dawson. Is there any discussion?
Miss Lindsay.
Either one. We can do rock,
We
paper,
did it
scissors.
together.
That's cool. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Agenda item 13, approval of settlement agreements. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to authorize and direct the superintendent to execute and deliver the settlement agreements in form substantially similar to the agenda item provided to the board under separate cover and to take all actions necessary in connection therewith and stipulated in the agenda exhibit.
So moved.
Second. You got it.
I have a motion by Mrs. Dawson and a second by Mrs. Lindsay.
Oh, yeah.
Is there any discussion? All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
That's all, Miss Colley.
All right. Well, that's all we have for our agenda. Board members have anything? Mr. Tyler?
We have, right now, the special board meeting on the 31st is still planned.
Okay.
Is the superintendent's breakfast still tomorrow?
Still tomorrow, yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure for the weather.
Everything's on
Everything.
except moving around during the school day, no field trips during the instructional day because of the weather.
Okay,
And then we'll, athletics are at the discretion of the principal and officials in the afternoon based on the weather. But hopefully it'll blow in. I mean, this is the area we live in. It's hard just to cancel school every time we have difficult weather because we live in Baldwin County and we're on the coast, so.
right.
Well, if there's nothing else, then I need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Y'all have a wonderful breakfast. Eat